Hello, my sweet baby loves. So today you are my sweet baby loves. Tomorrow you will be my love nuggets. We will just go from there. Just words of love with various nouns. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Maybelline Dream Velvet Soft Matte Hydrating Foundation. And I actually bought this 2 weeks ago now, and then Maybelline asked if I wanted to give it a shot. So they sent me every single color of this foundation. I want to stress that this is not a sponsored video. We decided we were going to work together on like my social media and stuff like that, but I asked them if I could do a review here on my YouTube channel and they said yes. So I'm really excited to be bringing it to you guys. Normally with matte drugstore foundation releases, I always steer clear, but the name of this really intrigued me. The fact that it is hydrating matte foundation just was like, didn't make sense in my mind, so I was like, I have to try it and see what the heck they're going on about. But on the back here it says, it is their first gel whipped foundation. Fresh, new, and flawless, Dream Velvet whips a fresh gel into a velvet soft texture. Complexion is perfected and smooth with a soft matte finish just like velvet. Skin feels fresh with lasting hydration. So I wound up using this today, and I'm going to go through the demo here in a second, and I tried out the new Dream Blender Sponge as well. I do not feel like you need these together. This is not like a product where you need a very specific applicator, but I will say that I thought this was going to be really gimmicky, and honestly, you'll see when I first used it, I was like, this does nothing. I don't really like it. There's a very specific way that I use this that like literally doubles the amount of coverage that I get, so I'm going to show you that. With color selection, I feel like there are a lot of color options in this, significantly more than I feel like Maybelline foundations usually have. I am almost always number 20 in Maybelline foundations. I'm 20 in the Superstay or Skin, I'm 120 in Fit Me, so on and so forth. But I felt like 20 in this was a little bit too pink and too dark, so I wound up going with 15, which actually wound up being a bit more of a yellow color. The 5s in this range, so 05, 15, 25, so on, are going to be your warm, more yellow tone shades, whereas colors that end in 0 are a little bit pinker in comparison. And when we put side by side 15 and 20, you can see the real difference. I mean, this one is just a lot pinker, this one's a little bit more yellow and a tiny bit lighter. The consistency is so bizarre because when it comes out, it literally is like a mousse. As you can probably tell, if you've ever tried their mousse foundation, I'm actually not sure what that was called. They used to have a Dream Matte Mousse, but it was not the same as this. That one was very thick, very high coverage, and it went very cakey super easily. This, on the other hand, blends away to a nearly water-like consistency. It's so strange. It starts out so thick, and you start blending and it melds into the skin almost instantly. And it's bizarre, it really does feel cooling and hydrating when I put it on. I'm still so impressed that my skin doesn't feel tight. I didn't set anything with powder, I just did my usual like powder products on my cheeks and stuff, but nothing felt tight afterwards the way that I normally do with a matte foundation. It felt very, very hydrated, almost like a tingly cooling sensation. I'm gonna go ahead and get into the demo and we'll wear it through the day. So my skin has been moisturized for maybe half an hour now, and I really went a little bit heavy today just because we are working with matte foundation. The color I chose is 15 Ivory. So I'm just going to take a bit of this on the back of my hand. I'm going to just see how far it's spreading so I can get enough before I go in with the Dream Blender sponge. But it doesn't really look like it's gonna get cakey. Like, you guys can sort of see how easily it's blending out just from me dotting it on the face. I followed the instructions and dampened my Dream Blender sponge, and I'm just going to use this to blend into the skin. I really like the way that it's getting right into little areas like my nose crease right here that can be really stubborn and collect excess makeup. So I feel like the Dream Blender sponge is picking up product where it shouldn't be, and I don't really feel like it's blending in the foundation very well at all. I'm just gonna try the other side, same amount of product, and I'm just going to blend it in with my fingers this time and see if that works any better. Because I really liked the way this foundation was looking, even when I was just like spreading it out with my fingertips. So weird the way that this is completely drying down matte, but like It feels almost like water once it's completely blended in. It's hard to explain, but you have that refreshed feeling you do after you've like washed your face and it's still a little bit damp. It's so bizarre because it feels amazing. It's almost somewhat cooling, if that makes any sense. It's really interesting. The side with the Dream Blender sponge actually has more coverage. I think maybe this time I'm just gonna try to take a bit directly on the sponge and blend it onto the skin, like so. Okay, that application method works so much better. I think that the trick with this is not to like put the foundation on the skin then blend it. I think you need to put it directly onto the sponge. It's giving, like, look at the coverage that gave. And I really like the way it looks with my fingertips too, but you can really see little acne marks and stuff. And if I just take a bit of the foundation with the sponge, it literally like almost vanishes. It's really, really cool. That's so funny. I did not expect much out of this sponge and I was so discouraged when I worked on that half of my face, but it actually works really well. Okay, so I kind of worked on the rest of my face for a little bit. Excuse my brows, they turned out really dark. The only area that I put concealer and powder is right under the eyes. I didn't do an upside down triangle like I normally would to highlight just because I want to see how this lasts without powder. The area where it was going a little bit patchy, the foundation would not adhere after that. So I think that the way that this goes on best is with fingers first, then go in with the dampened Dream Blender sponge to really like pack on extra coverage where you need it or to blend. But it's had maybe like 10 minutes to set, so I wanted to see how product would go on top of it. I'm gonna do my usual bronzing and blush and highlight routine. So this is IT Cosmetics Vitality Glow. It's not going patchy up here at the hairline, which I find even like satin matte consistency foundations will do on me. The bronzer is blending so well. So this is not a foundation that you need to set with a powder. Normally I would clean up with translucent powder, but again, we're not gonna powder this down just to see how it lasts on its own. I'm going to take a blush. This one is Spellbinder by MAC. And I think it's pretty obvious that this foundation does really well with powder product, but just for good measure, let's go ahead and highlight. I'm gonna be using Anastasia's So Hollywood for this. To finish off my look today, I'm just going to use a pink tinted lip balm. Alright, so I feel like I got a true medium coverage out of this. And areas where I really layered it on, like where I have my hyperpigmentation, I probably got closer to a medium full. The finish definitely looks matte except where I highlighted, you know? Like it looks completely matte everywhere except areas where I deliberately put that shimmer. So that's really nice. Normally when I do a matte foundation, it is such a freaking struggle trying to get it not to cling to my dry patches, to even be fully matte because 99% of the time I have to go on top with powder. This really is matte without any powder on top. I really like the way it's looking, especially in the camera. So I'm gonna go ahead and go through my day. It is currently 9:22 in the morning and we are going to test this sucker out. Hey guys, I'm about to go grab some lunch. It is currently just a bit past 12, so I've had it on for right around 3 hours now. I just touched up my lip balm, but I don't really feel like the foundation is wearing any. In fact, I feel like you can get almost a better feel for what the texture looks like here in daylight. Is it really sad that my bun is so much like I actually can't sit upright in my convertible? Probs. I don't really feel like it's settling in anywhere. In fact, I feel like it looks exactly the same. Like I think that my makeup held up really well because all I've done, like I haven't had anything to drink, I haven't had anything to eat. So I feel like it's just been sitting there for like 3 hours, like nothing has really changed. My lip balm obviously had faded, but I did just pop that back on. So now I'm gonna run to Starbucks and get some coffee and then probably go to Subway for lunch because I'm lazy. So I'll check in with you guys once it's had actually a little bit of stress to go through. It is currently 4:48, so getting close to 5. How long have I been wearing this? I put it on like right before 9:30. So a little bit over 7 hours now, and I am going to go ahead and call it quits for this video because I need to get it edited. I'm going to wear this foundation into the night and see if there are any changes, and if there are, I will have them down below. But for right now, I feel like the foundation looks really true to the way it did at the start of the day. My mascara has started flaking a little bit, my eyeshadow is fading, but I feel like the foundation really stayed so true to the way it did at the beginning of the day. The only issue I'm having, this part of my face was looking a little bit blotchy maybe like an hour ago, and then I was taking off this top and the inside of it kind of like rubbed against my face. The entire chunk of foundation just felt like it came clean off. Like, I don't think that there is any product left here. If you can see the difference between like this side of my face and this one, like I think you can see that my bronzer looks patchy, like the foundation is gone. There's maybe a bit of fading here on my cheeks, like the tiniest bit, but on the side that I use that blender, it looks exactly the same. So I'm actually thinking that this is a foundation you need to apply with a sponge. I think that this one is a really nice option if you feel like it, but you can always use a different one, whatever you have at your disposal. But if you're someone who touches your face a lot or you feel like you rest your hands like this, you may need to either prime or set with a powder, because like while I'm doing that and nothing is like coming off right now, I apparently had done that enough today to like completely warrant it rubbing off. So that's just something to know, either prime or set the makeup, whatever you feel comfortable doing if you are like a face toucher. Other than that, I think it lasted really well and I'm really impressed by it. I will absolutely repurchase it, and I think that this one is a yes for me. I'm gonna go ahead and go. I really hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye!